Good morning and Jai Hind children. I welcome you all in today's live class of chemistry. Children, we are discussing the chapter Weather, Climates and Adaptation. Is it? And in previous class, I have explained all the topics of the chapter as well as the oral questions. Okay? And now, today I'm going to discuss the book exercise. And the first book exercise is choose the most appropriate answer. Children, in these questions, the four options will be given and you have to choose the correct one. Alright, so come to the question, and the question number one which is given in your exercise is, which of these is not an element of weather? Okay, and the option which are given: A. Temperature, B. Sun, C. Humidity, and the option D is rainfall. Okay, so out of these four elements, children, you have to find out that which of these is not an element of weather. Okay, so children, remember that we have discussed the elements of weather in chapter, and the elements like the temperature, sun, humidity, and rainfall. Out of these, temperature, humidity, and rainfall, these are the elements of weather. Whereas sun, this is not an element of weather because the sun does not determine the weather condition. But these are the three elements like temperature of a place, humidity of a place, and the amount of rainfall. These three determine the weather. Alright. So the correct answer will be sun. Now come to the question number two. And the question is, in which part of India, in which part of India can the climate be said to be hot and wet? Alright. And the options: A is Jammu and Kashmir. Option B is Nagaland. Option C is Kerala. And option D is Rajasthan. Okay, so out of these four places, you have to find out that in which part can be the climate said to be hot and wet. So children, you know very well the climate of Jammu and Kashmir, it's cold. Okay, and the climate of Rajasthan is hot. So the correct answer will be here, the Kerala, which have the hot and wet climate, because the amount of rainfall that takes place here more, as well as the temperature is also more here. Okay. Now come to the next question number 3. And the question is, which of these does not affect the climate of a place? Okay, and the options are the first one, longitude. Option B is distance from sea. And option C is distance from mountains. And the option D is, yes, it's winds. Alright, so out of these four, you have to find out that which of these does not affect the climate of a place. Alright, children. So you know very well that longitude, it does not affect the climate of a place, whereas the distance from the sea, distance from mountains, and the winds, they all three together affect the climate of a place. All right, so option A will be correct here. Now come to the next question number 4. And the question is, in which type of climate you can not expect to see reptiles? Children, understood the question? In which type of climate you cannot expect to see reptiles? And the options: A, it's hot and dry. B, very cold. C, hot and wet. And the D is hot and humid. Okay, so out of these four different kind of climates, you have to find out that the reptiles are not present, not found. Okay, children. Hot and dry, very cold, hot and wet, and hot and humid. So, children, in very cold places are the very cold climates. The reptiles are not found. Okay, so the correct answer will be very cold. B. Now come to the question number 5. And the question is, which of these is specifically an adaptation for cold climates? Okay, and the option A is blubber, B is sweating, option C is long ears, and the option D is streamlined bodies. Alright, so out of these four options, you have to find out that which of these is specifically an adaptation for cold climate. Means the animals which are found in cold climates have blubber, sweating, long ears, and streamlined body. So children, the animals of cold climates adopted as they have blubber. It is a thick layer of fat below the skin which act as an insulator and protect themselves from cold climate. Alright, so the correct answer will be A. Now come to the next question number 6. And the question is, which of these adaptations does a camel have for living in a desert? Alright, and the option A, drinks and stores large quantity of water at a time. Okay, drinks and stores large quantity of water at a time. Option B is very little sweating. And option C is large soles on feet. And option D is all of these. Okay, so children, you must have seen the camel, and the camel get adopted to live in deserts as they drinks and stores large quantity of water at a time. They also have very little sweating or no sweating occurs, and their soles on feet are also large in size. Okay, so you can say that all of these are the adaptations found in camel to live in desert. Okay, so D will be correct. Now come to the next question number 7. And the question is, which of the following is true for the poles? All right, children. Which of the following is true for the poles? And option A, option A is 12 hours day, 12 hours night. Option B is about 18 hours day, about 6 hours night. And option C is 6 months day, 6 months day with the sun high up. With the sun high up in the sky. And 6 months night. And the option D is 6 months day with the sun just above the horizon. 6 months day with the sun just above the horizon, and 6 months night. Okay, children. So these are the four options, and you have to find out that yes, which of the following is true for the poles. So children, at the poles, what was there? Yes, 6 months day with the sun just above the horizon, and the 6 months night was there takes place. Alright. So option D will be correct. Now come to the next question number 8. And the question is, camouflage as an adaptation is found in. And the option A, hot climates. Option B is cold climate. And option C is hot and wet climate. And the option D, all climates. Okay, so out of these four, you have to find out the camouflage is an adaptation is found in. So children, camouflage is an adaptation which is found in all climates. It may be the hot climate, maybe the cold climate, and hot and wet climate. In all kind of climates, camouflage is found. The correct option will be in all climates. Alright. So children, these all are the book exercise A, that is choose most appropriate answer. Okay, and I hope that you understood these all answers. Now come to the next exercise. The exercise B, very short answer question. Children, here you have to give the answer just in one word. Alright. So come to the question number 1. And the question is, the temperature of a place is maximum during the afternoon. True or false? So children, remember that during the afternoon, the temperature of a place is maximum. Yes, because the sun is, yes, just above. So the statement is true. Now come to the question number 2. And the question is, what are scientists who study the weather called? So children, the scientists who study the weather are called meteorologists. Alright, the scientists called meteorologists who study the weather. Okay, now come to the next question number 3. And the question is, does it become warmer or cooler when one goes up from sea level? Children, first understood the question that if someone is going to up from the sea level, so what it will be? Warmer or cooler? So when we will go up from the sea level, it will be cooler. Okay. Now come to the next, that question number 4. And the question is, Sun rays heat more near the equator because they are slanting. True or false? Children understood the question that sun rays heat more near the equator because at the equator the sun rays are slanting. So this statement is not true, it is false. Alright. If it will be straight, then it will be true. So the answer will be false. Now, come to the next question number 5. And the question is, in a city in the tropical region, the climate is expected to be. Okay, which kind of climate is found in the city of tropical region? So children, remember that the climate of tropical region is warm and humid. Okay, so you can write that the climate will be warm and humid in the city of a tropical region. Okay, now come to the next question number 6. And the question is, in a desert, the climate is, which kind of climate is found in desert? So children, we have already discussed in the chapter, in desert, it is hot and dry. Alright, so the climate is hot and dry. Okay, now come to the next question number 6. Sorry, question number 7. And the question is, fur keeps an animal warm by trapping. So, what traps the fur and because of which the animals feel warm? So, children, remember that the fur which is present on the body of the animals, they trap air which act as a insulation, and because of it the animals feel warm. Okay, so you can write that the fur traps air. Get it? Now, come to the next question number 8. And the question is, birds living in the polar regions. Okay, birds living in the polar region, they to warmer region in winters. So what they do to warmer regions in winter? So children, your answer will be migrate because the birds migrate to warmer regions in winter season. Get it? Because in polar regions, in winters, it's very cold. So that is why the birds of these polar regions, they migrate to warmer regions in winter. Now, come to the question number 9. And the question is, animals living in, okay, which kind of climate usually come out to look for food at night? Children, remember that the animals which are living in hot climate, okay, are the places of deserts. They usually come out to look for food at night because during the daytime the temperature is more. So that is why they come out at night. Alright, so you can write here the hot climate places or deserts. Okay, and the next question number 10 is, there is intense competition for food in the tropical rainforest because there is very little food. It is true or false? Children, you must have to remember that in tropical rainforest, the availability of the food is more. So there is intense competition for food in the tropical rainforest because there is very little food. So the statement will not be true, it is false. because the food is not little there. The food availability of food is much more there. All right. So these all are the very short answer question. Our book exercise B. Okay, and I hope that you understood these all answers of question. All right, children. Now come to the next exercise. That is exercise C. Short answer question. And the question number one is name four elements of weather. Children, we have discussed certain elements which determine the weather of a place. So here you have to write the four elements of weather. Alright, and the elements are the first element, temperature. Second element is humidity. Third element is rainfall. And the fourth element is winds. Okay, so these are the four elements of weather. Alright, now come to the next question number two. And the question is, why is it very difficult to predict the weather? Children, the weather of a place, it is very difficult to predict because, yes, it is affected by many factors. So you can write that the weather is a complex phenomenon. Alright, it is a very complex phenomenon and it is affected by hundreds of factors and so very difficult to predict. Alright, now come to the next question number 3, and the question is give an example to show how winds affect the weather. A little in. Understood the question first? In the question, it's given that give an example or with the help of an example, you have to, yes, show that the winds affect the weather. So children, simply that winds affect the weather of a given place, like during summers, the winds blow from the hot deserts of Rajasthan towards Delhi and Delhi becomes very hot. Get it? So the example is the Delhi becomes hot. Why? Because the winds blow from the hot deserts of Rajasthan. Get it? Now, come to the next question number 4, and the question is how does huddling help penguins? Children, remember that the one of the adaptation which is found in penguins is huddling. So this huddling helps penguin because yes, the huddling helps penguin to retain the warmth which are created in them as a group. So if they stay separately, they will feel more cold. So that is why they remains together. Are they huddling together to keep themselves warm or to protect themselves from cold? Alright? Understood? Now come to the next question number 5. And the question is in general, what kinds of climate do places near the sea have? So children, in general, the places near the sea have a moderate climate. That is neither very cold nor very hot. Okay, it is the moderate climate. Okay, and now the question number 6 is A polar bear has to move slowly. Otherwise, its body will get overheated. Why? So children, the reason is as the polar bear has two thick layers of fur that traps air and a layer of fat under its skin, and these provide excellent insulation. So, if it does more physical activities, the heat generated will not be lost to the surroundings and the body will thus get overheated. Alright, that is why a polar bear has to move slowly. Otherwise, its body will get overheated. Get it? Understood the reason? Okay, so I hope that you understood all the answers of short question. Okay, and in next class, I will discuss the rest of the book exercise. Thank you and have a nice day, children.